You can't get anything done unless you have direction. We're going to talk about direction right now. So imagine there's a ship, a cargo ship, right? It's leaving from Boston and it needs to get to Great Britain, somewhere in England. I don't know shit about boats, but just roll with me for a second here. Let's say that's the case. They're going from A to B. Now, there's a goal, there's a direction, there's a set destination. And so the crew on the ship knows the trip. They've done it before. They understand it. And so when they set sail, they know what to do. They know how to get there. They know where they're started, where they're going, and how the journey's going to go. So when things happen, if the weather gets bad or fucking, I don't know, whatever the fuck goes bad on ships when they're sailing, if something goes wrong, they can readjust their course knowing that the decisions they have to make are going to be designed to get them to their destination, get them to Great Britain, because that's where they need to go to drop off the cargo to make everybody happy. The same thing's with life. So many times in my life, and other people I've talked to, we all want things. We want to be happy. We want to be successful. We want to be productive. We want to do all these things. We want all these things, but we don't have any direction on how to get there. So, how can we really expect ourselves to magically kind of manifest these things that we want when we don't have a plan? We don't even know what happiness is vague. I want to be happy. What the fuck does that mean? If I just say that my goal is to be happy, what does that mean for me? Me being happy is different from what you're going to be happy, different what they want to be happy. Everybody has a different definition of happiness. Everybody has a different definition of success. Everybody has a different definition of any sort of contentment in their life. And if we're chasing those things, we need to identify concretely, specifically, what they are before we can even expect ourselves to begin to actualize those things. We're all going through life kind of just wanting these vague, ethereal, non-corporeal ideas of things that we like, but we don't know specifically what they are. It's like if we took that boat, it's like, all right, it needs to go to fucking Great Britain, and they just kind of pushed it out to sea and let it go without a course, without a crew, nothing. And it's just gonna drift, and it'll get there eventually. Now, is it gonna get to fucking Britain, or is it gonna fucking go derelict, crash on some fucking deserted island, or just straight up sink? Without direction, it's not gonna get there. And without direction, you're not gonna get there. I'm not gonna get there. Nobody's going to get there. So what I've been working on in the past couple weeks, and what I suggest everybody does as well, is to get super specific about what you want, about what you're working towards, about what's going to make you happy. Truly. Take a couple days, a couple weeks, as long as it takes, and ask yourself, what exactly do I want? Not feelings, not emotions, but tangible, specific ideas. Where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? Because as soon as you have some sort of direction, some concrete idea of what you want, it's 10 times easier to start going in that direction because you have a direction to go in. That's kind of what I'm doing with this channel. I've kind of it's been 2 years since I've started Rebel Pixels, and I've kind of just gone with the flow with it. So I'm going to do reviews here, people are sending me things here, but it's just like, that's great, but I can't really bitch about the fact that it's been 2 years and I just broke 10,000 subscribers if I've had no direction with the channel. I've had these vague kind of ideas of, I want to help creators and I want it to be a creative channel. But if I don't know specifically what I want to do with it, it's just going to be, subject to my whims and your whims and whatever the fuck else happens. It's not going to have direction. The same thing with all of my creativity, my artwork. If I just do whatever I feel like doing when I feel like doing it, of course it's not going to be a success. There has to be an end goal. There has to be something specific that you're trying to do that you can quantify, that you can sum up in a sentence or two that's very specific. Instead of, I want to be a cartoonist, I want to be published in Image Comics with this title, something way more specific like that. Or I want to have, a 5-volume graphic novel series done by 2020 with these characters about this story, with these themes. Like, once you really get specific about what you want, the path becomes clear. It doesn't become any simpler to navigate. It doesn't become any easier. There's still going to be steep inclines you're going to have to climb, and there's going to be times when you fuck up. But the fog's gone, and you can see where you're going, instead of just bumbling around like it's fucking Silent Hill, wondering where the fuck you're going. So, message for today is get specific about what you want. Just saying you want to be happy, just saying you want to be successful, it isn't enough. Because if you have no idea how to get there, and more damningly, you have no idea how to get there in a way that's going to satisfy you, you're either going to wander around doing nothing, or you're going to end up following somebody else's advice that isn't going to help you. You know, I went to college for 4 years to get a degree in graphic design to be a graphic designer because my family said that's what I should do. I didn't fucking want to do it, and I didn't realize it till 2 weeks before I graduated they didn't want to do it. Now I'm $40,000 in debt, paying for a degree I don't even want. And I'm clearly not using, other than designing thumbnails. So, don't do that. Don't let someone else decide what your happiness is. Decide your own path, and then pursue it as best you can. So, until next time, I'm Tom Oliver. This is Rebel Pixels, reminding you guys, we might be indie. Doesn't mean that we're alone. Catch you on the next one.